Words have incredible power. They can inspire, motivate, or, unfortunately, undermine our credibility without us even realizing it. Sometimes the smallest phrases we use out of habit can make others perceive us as less competent, unsure, or even unprofessional. And here's the thing, it's not always what you say, but how you say it that can make or break how seriously people take you. The truth is, the way we communicate shapes how others see us. Whether it's in a workplace meeting, a casual conversation with friends, or even on social media, the language we use sends a message about who we are. That's why becoming more intentional about the words we choose is such a game changer. In today's video, we're diving deep into some phrases that could be sabotaging your credibility, and you might not even realize it. We'll explore why these phrases are problematic, and more importantly, we'll give you practical, easy-to-implement alternatives to replace them with. By making these small changes, you'll not only sound more confident, but you'll also position yourself as someone people take seriously, both personally and professionally. Let's transform the way you speak and unleash the power of effective communication. If you've ever found yourself wondering how to be more assertive or how to present your ideas with authority, this video will give you the tools you need to do just that. If you are new here, please subscribe to the Moving You Ahead channel so you don't miss the next videos on self-development, motivation, and spiritual growth. Now let's dive into the phrases that might be undermining your credibility and explore how to eliminate them from your vocabulary. Avoiding self-deprecation. Think about how you feel when you hear someone say, "This might be a dumb question, but," or "This might sound stupid, but." Right off the bat, they're signaling that their idea isn't worth much before even giving you a chance to hear it. When you use phrases like these, you're essentially telling people not to take you seriously. Instead of self-deprecating, try rephrasing with confidence. For example, say, "From my understanding, could you elaborate on?" Or "I want to make sure I'm on the same page." These alternatives show you're engaged and curious without putting yourself down. Excessive apologizing. Another common mistake is over-apologizing. If you're constantly saying, "Sorry, but," or "Sorry to bother you," you risk coming across as unsure of yourself. While it's important to be polite, excessive apologies can diminish your authority. Instead, try being direct yet respectful. For instance, instead of "Sorry to bother you," say, "I need a moment of your time." This approach is clear and professional while still maintaining courtesy. Filler words and hedging language. Do you find yourself using phrases like "I guess," "kind of," or "I mean"? These filler words might seem harmless, but they can make you sound unprepared or unconfident. The same goes for overusing "like" or While it's natural to pause and think, relying on these words too much creates the impression that you don't fully believe in what you're saying. To avoid this, practice speaking clearly and deliberately. Take a short pause when you need to think instead of filling the silence with or "like." You'll sound more confident and composed, even if you're still gathering your thoughts. Verbal hesitation markers. Another habit to be mindful of is adding phrases like, "You know what I mean," or using upspeak, where your tone rises at the end of a sentence like you're asking a question. These habits can make you seem unsure or as if you're seeking constant approval. Instead, focus on ending your sentences with a firm, downward tone to convey confidence. Minimizing language. When you say things like, "I just think," or "It's just my opinion," but you're undercutting the value of your ideas before anyone else has the chance to. These phrases make it seem like you're not confident in your perspective, even if you have something valuable to contribute. Instead, try starting with, "Based on my analysis." Or one important aspect to consider is, this not only positions your ideas as thoughtful and informed, but also invites others to take them seriously. Confidence is key to making an impact. Confident alternatives. When presenting your thoughts, stand behind them. Even if you're unsure, framing your ideas with conviction can change how others perceive you. For example, instead of saying, "It's just an idea," but say, "Here's an idea worth exploring." Notice the shift in tone. By removing minimizing language, you show that you believe in the value of your contribution, and others will too. Remember, how you present your ideas matters just as much as the ideas themselves. Negative interaction phrases. Phrases like, actually, when disagreeing or starting a sentence with no offense, but are more harmful than you might think. Actually can come across as dismissive, even if you don't mean it that way. It often puts people on the defensive and makes you seem argumentative instead of collaborative. Similarly, saying no offense, but is almost guaranteed to offend because it signals that something offensive is about to follow. Instead, try using more constructive alternatives. For example, if you disagree, say, "That's an interesting point. I see it differently because," or building off your point, I'd like to add, these approaches keep the conversation respectful and open, even when differences arise. This kind of language fosters collaboration and positions you as someone who values constructive dialogue. Constructive communication approaches. Another phrase to avoid is, "It's not my job." While you might have valid reasons for saying this, it can make you seem unhelpful or unwilling to contribute. A better approach could be, "That's outside my usual responsibilities, but let me see how I can assist," or "I'll connect you with someone who can help." This not only shows professionalism, but also demonstrates a willingness to problem solve, which boosts your credibility. Unsubstantiated claims. Saying "trust me" without providing evidence can make you appear unreliable. People are more likely to trust you when you back up your statements with facts or examples, rather than relying on empty reassurances. Instead of saying, "Trust me," say, "Here's why I believe this is the best approach," or "Let me explain the reasoning behind this." Similarly, phrases like, "I don't know" can hurt your credibility, especially in professional settings. While it's okay not to have all the answers, how you respond matters. Instead of stopping at, "I don't know," say, "I don't have that information right now, but I'll find out and get back to you." This shows accountability and a proactive mindset, which people respect. Professional accountability. Being accountable also means owning up to mistakes without being overly defensive. If something goes wrong, avoid blaming others or making excuses. Replace defensive language with solutions. For example, instead of "That's not my fault," say, "Here's what happened, and here's what we can do to fix it." Taking responsibility and focusing on solutions demonstrates integrity and professionalism. Comprehensive language audit. Improving your communication starts with awareness. Take a step back and assess your own speaking habits. Do you notice yourself using any of the 15 phrases we've discussed? A helpful way to do this is by recording yourself during conversations or meetings and playing it back to analyze your language patterns. While this may feel uncomfortable at first, it's one of the best ways to identify areas for improvement. Once you pinpoint which phrases you rely on too often, focus on consciously replacing them with more confident alternatives. Practice is key here. Write down more assertive phrases and rehearse them until they become second nature. Over time, you'll notice a shift not just in how others perceive you, but also in how you perceive yourself. Confidence-building communication practices. Confidence isn't just about what you say. It's also about how you say it. Nonverbal cues like posture, eye contact, and tone of voice play a huge role in how your message is received. When speaking, stand or sit up straight, make eye contact with your audience, and use a steady, clear tone. Avoid fidgeting or looking away, as these habits can make you seem unsure of yourself. Another tip is to pause intentionally during your speech. This not only gives you time to gather your thoughts, but also adds weight to your words. People are more likely to listen when you speak with measured confidence rather than rushing through your sentences. Lastly, adopt a mindset of continuous improvement. Communication is a skill, and like any skill, it takes time and effort to master. As we wrap up, let's recap the key insights from our discussion. We've explored 15 phrases that can undermine your credibility, including self-deprecating language, excessive apologizing, filler words, minimizing language, confrontational phrases, and unsubstantiated claims. By eliminating these from your vocabulary and replacing them with more confident, thoughtful alternatives, you can significantly enhance how others perceive you in both personal and professional settings. The connection between language and perceived competence is undeniable. By being mindful of your words, you're not just changing how you speak, you're transforming how you're understood and respected by others. Now it's time for action. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the Moving You Ahead channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever caught yourself using any of these phrases? What strategies have helped you speak more confidently? Let's keep the conversation going. Share this video with someone who needs it, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.